share in this spectacular event, and on behalf of all the students of Norristown, I'd like to thank our honorable guests for providing us with this incredible opportunity. I'd also like to thank them for pushing back midterms a couple days. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the newly elected Democratic Member of Congress from Pennsylvania's 13th District. Mr. Joseph M. Hoeffel III has been appointed to the House Budget Committee and the House Committee on International Relations. A lifelong resident of Montgomery County, Mr. Hoeffel served 7 years as a county commissioner, creating the nation's most extensive land preservation program. He began his political career in 1976 as a state representative. Despite his loss to Republican John Fox in 1996, Mr. Hoeffel obtained victory over the incumbent in 1998. A graduate of William Penn Charter School, Boston University, and Temple University School of Law, Mr. Hoeffel is now married with 2 children. Please join me in welcoming Congressman Joseph Hoeffel.
Thank you. Melissa, you do Norristown proud. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Mrs. Clinton, Mrs. Gore, welcome. Welcome to Montgomery County. This is a big day for us, and we are delighted that you are here. Mr. President, congratulations on a terrific State of the Union speech last night. You refocused the country's attention on the issues that the American people care about and that people in Montgomery County care about. And I must admit that it was sweet to listen to your speech from the floor of the House of Representatives. Mr. President, you are presenting a vigorous, progressive agenda that will secure America's future. Investing the surplus in Social Security, Medicare, and in increased individual savings through the USA accounts. Improving public education by reducing class sizes, by modernizing schools, and by demanding accountability. Reforming health care by controlling the HMOs and passing a patient's Bill of Rights. Helping working families by improving child care and increasing the minimum wage. Mr. President, I support this agenda, and so do the American people. It is time for Congress to get back to work and do the people's business. Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership in the Clinton-Gore administration. We in Montgomery County are particularly excited about your vision for open space preservation, growth management, and increasing the livability of our neighborhoods. Our county is in the middle of the largest local open space preservation program in the country, $100 million over 10 years. We will work with you, Mr. Vice President. We'll share whatever experience we have, and we applaud your vision. Mrs. Clinton, welcome back. Every time you visit Montgomery County, you energize and inspire us. Through your wise counsel, your advocacy, and your leadership, you have forever changed the role of First Lady. We are delighted you are here. It is my pleasure to introduce to everyone Mrs. Gore. She is known as an advocate for families, for women, for children, and has worked tirelessly on the issues that are important to us here in Montgomery County, ensuring quality, affordable health care for all, and particularly for those that are mentally ill. She has promoted a better learning environment for our children. Of particular note, Mrs. Gore is as well known on the streets of Washington for her advocacy and hands-on care for the homeless as she is in the highest councils of government. Mrs. Gore, your understanding of the real issues that face America and your drive to solve our nation's problems make you a model for all that is good about this country. I was delighted to learn when I read Mrs. Gore's biography that she and I are both graduates of Boston University. One of us in 1970, one of us in 1972. I choose not to identify which of us graduated first. But in the what you do. But in the eloquent words of the Boston University cheer, "Go be you, go Terriers, Tipper Gore!" Pleasure here.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, what a welcome. Thank you all so much. You make us feel so good. We love you. We love you. Thank you. It's great. I am happy to be back in this state. I was here on Monday celebrating Martin Luther King Day in Philadelphia, and the President made it a national day of service, and it was so wonderful to see all the young people out giving of themselves to make their communities better. And I know that these young people are going to continue to do that as they grow older and as they become the leaders in their community. I want to say that it's been a privilege and an honor to be a part of this administration for the past 6 years for so many reasons I think you all know of. The issues that we care about, the fact that this president in the State of the Union talked about the importance of expanding health care to everyone, that he has expanded it to uninsured children and included mental health care in that. And I would like to say in particular because there are so many young people here, and I know they know what I'm talking about. Mental health care is extremely important. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for young people. I'm sure that many of them know people, their classmates, their friends, who perhaps have talked to them about this. So we need to pay more attention. This president and this administration has and will continue to do that. We understand what the issues are that people really care about. We want to help our kids. We want to help our families be stronger and better. I also want to thank the President because we're having the first ever White House Conference on Mental Health in May, which is going to focus a lot of attention on treatment, diagnosis, and community-based mental health services for people who need them. I also want to thank him for the agenda that he's advanced on helping homeless people get into a continuum of care and get into housing and get into the kind of help relationships that help them rebuild their lives so they can become productive citizens. This doesn't just happen by accident, as you know. It happens because of the leaders that we all decide we want to lead us. And I am proud to have been a part of this administration and to continue the work for the next 2 years that is so important to the families of this country. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your affirmation of the ideas and ideals that we all believe in. And now I want to introduce to you a woman who is, like no other, a role model to so many of you in this room and to those around the world. A woman whose caring heart, whose compassionate nature, whose intelligence and skill has made us proud as Americans here at home, as well as proud to see her represent our nation abroad. I bring you our First Lady, a person who has served with dignity, Hillary Rodham Clinton. We are very, very pleased we could be here for many reasons, but I think the most important is that for those of you who did see the President's speech last night, much of it was about how we prepare ourselves and our country for the 21st century. And really what that means is what we do to make sure that the young people who attend this high school have an opportunity to live up to the fullest extent of their God-given gifts and potential, and how we as a nation help in every way we can to equip them to meet the challenges of the future. None of us can predict all that will happen in the 21st century. The only prediction that is safe to make based on what has happened just in the last 10, 20, 50 years is that the pace of change will continue and even accelerate. There will be all kinds of challenges that we may not even be able to envision. So what we must do is figure out the best ways to equip all of us, but particularly our young people. So we wanted to come to a place where you are doing just that, where you have a reputation for excellence, where a diverse student body and faculty work together to achieve common goals, and where you do place preparing young people for the future, not only by what they learn, but how they will live their lives and serve at the top of your priorities. I want to thank everyone who worked to make this visit possible. I particularly want to thank your principal, Barry Spencer, and all of the faculty here. I want to thank your superintendent, who just gave an excellent description of what you're doing in this school district to meet the challenges of the 21st century.
I want to thank Melissa for representing so well all the students of the high school. And I know that Melissa has some very proud parents, Russell and Nancy Ghostin, and a sister, Leanne, who are here as well, and I want to say hello to them. We also want to thank the Norristown Area High School Orchestra and the Norristown Area High School Concert Choir and Band. And Reverend Williams, thank you for reminding us with the words from the book of Isaiah that where there is no vision, the people perish, and how important it is that we have a common vision that we work to achieve here, not only in Montgomery County or Pennsylvania, but indeed our entire country. I also want to congratulate your new congressman. We are very, very happy to have him representing you in Washington. I look forward to seeing the work he does on behalf of the issues that he already has established a public record on in his previous service and the ones that he will be addressing now in the Congress. One of the most important ways of thinking about how we will prepare ourselves for the 21st century is to look at what is already being done. Last night, the President, among the many important points of the agenda he laid out, he included a particular emphasis on supporting strong families and supporting the kind of work that is the most important work to do, that of raising children. And when he did that, he was thinking about what we all must do. Certainly there are changes that could be made and should be made that he outlined, that only the Congress can make, to expand the Family and Medical Leave Act, to provide more support for quality, affordable child care, to make sure that no parent is ever discriminated against in the workplace merely because that parent has children in the home, to make it possible for stay-at-home parents to have some tax relief so that they can do the most important job as they see fit to do it. There are many different ways that we can support the families of America, and you here in Norristown are showing the way. I've heard about the innovative drop-in child care center at the county courthouse. I've heard about the child care services that are available to those who are moving from welfare to work. I've heard about the important school-business partnerships that encourage parents and businesses to get involved in improving the education of all the young people here. So at every level of our society, what we individually must do to equip ourselves, what we can do together in our communities, what we can do across our regions and states, and what we must do as a nation. The President, since the very first day he said he wanted to be President back in October of 1991, and all through the 1992 campaign, has kept his focus on what we needed to do as a nation. And he has never lost his focus for one day about what is important for America and Americans in the future. At the heart of this President's agenda is an abiding belief and an optimism and a hope about the kind of people we are and can be, and with particular attention paid to what we must do as parents and grandparents to make it possible for young people to inherit our nation in as good a shape as we can give it to them. And standing by his side from the very beginning, working extraordinarily hard with an unbelievable dedication, has been a man who understands the future as well as anybody I've ever met, who has been on the cutting edge of defining what we needed to understand about technology or the environment, someone who has made an extraordinary contribution already to America.